Hi, I'm Lee Davis. I wanted to talk a little bit candidly to you all about my new comic, the first issue I just completed and released. It's called Door to Death, and I wanted to talk about what the comic's about and how it came to be, and just some of the things that inspired me to make it. Um, and the bottom line being that I really enjoyed making this comic. I had a lot of fun with the characters and the story, and I really want to do more. And a guy like me will do these things out of passion, but they are time consuming, no matter how much fun they are. And obvious, needless to say, it's a pretty uh, basic concept, but the more it sells and the better it does, the more motivation I have to give it more time. So I really want to do more of this. So anyway, just having said that, I hope you check it out. If this seems like something, if after you have a taste of it here with this video, if this seems like something you'd enjoy, I really hope you check it out. I'm lowballing the price as much as I can. So it's fairly cheap, and if you like horror comics, I really hope you check it out. And if you like it, please leave reviews, spread the word. Like I said, the better it does, the more practical it is for me to make time to do the next one. And I really want to, so please. And if you hate it, no offense. I understand. No two tastes are alike. And maybe just do me a favor and forget you read it. Sorry. Sorry if I wasted your time. Okay, so anyway, I dealt with the title, first of all, Door to Death. Anybody over the age of 5 is probably going to say that's a really corny title, but the reason for the title reveals itself in the story. The protagonist, Winston Forge, was once a child star of the 80s who starred in a film called Door to Death, which went on to be kind of a cult classic, and it's definitely my nod to one of my favorite films as a kid, The Gate. In this story, he comes across Todd, who was a really interesting character for me because to me at one point, on different ends of the earth, one kid was starring in this film that went on to be a cult classic, and the other was in small beach town East Coast America. And was just another kid who really dug the film. It was one of the only films his parents had let him watch because it was not rated R. Another nod to The Gate right there. It's a common story between me and my other friends who are children of the 80s. That Todd was once upon a kid so infatuated with this fantasy, this creepy horror film full of monsters and whatnot. But he of course went on to live a very practical lifestyle. Went on became an academic, went to college, got his doctorate in chemistry. And got a good job and started a family, and then the company he works for closes down. His wife runs an animal clinic. His daughters are really ingrained into the beach town, and he doesn't want to move. He doesn't want to move them out of their town to go out of state for another job. So he's reduced to working a job he really hates. It takes his dignity away, and it would happen that Winston Forge is over here. Now, his story of what he's been up to since he was a kid, and why he's here, that you can find out in the comic. But I will say, he comes across a copy in this market of Door to Death for on sale in a sales bin for $3. And says, "Oh well, how about that?" And he's checking out. Todd sees it, and like a guy like me, that part of him that used to be that geeky kid comes out in that moment. He feels disgraced because he's no longer a professional, and he's really, in a way, he's kind of reverting back to just what made his life in his childhood so amazing, and kind of reconnecting with that, despite having lost everything else. And he does like a guy like me would, and he starts kind of geeking out and saying, "Oh, I love this movie," and telling him all these fun facts. He doesn't realize he's talking to the actual guy who was the kid in that movie. He's telling about what that kid went on to do. And anyway, they become acquainted. We have the very kind entrepreneurs who are breaking off from the family business to start a sushi restaurant. Who kind of reach out to the friends. We can tell these are good guys right off the bat. And yeah, so just all this other creepy, weird stuff going on. I'll let you discover all that stuff in the comic. So having talked about this, I hope that maybe piqued your interest. And once again, if you check it out and if you like it, that'd be great. I want to also say I put in a nod to Broken Hope. That I think Broken Hope's one of my favorite death metal bands, and I think in not a perfect world, but in a world more to my design, Broken Hope would be as popular as Metallica and Megadeth and the like. So I'm gonna pick in the fantasy. The bands I really like are of course going to be commonly referenced. I wanted to point that out there and give a salute to Broken Hope. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so once more, if you stuck with me through this video, the comic's available on paperback and for your Kindle from Amazon. So please check it out. And seriously, if you like it, leave me some reviews and tell other people to check it out. And because I really want to do more of these, and I will as time permits. But I will have a lot more motivation if I think more people are actually going to buy them. So have a great day. God bless y'all. Bye bye.